My new 93-year-old friend says that you might be making a big mistake. Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy on PTA. Another day, another nursing home. I'm on my way to another spot. Just had a wonderful day at one spot. I met a private investigator, yo. It's probably like the third private investigator I've met in my 15 years. Interesting story. Him and his partner caught a guy cheating on his wife. The wife hired him. This is way back in the day in New York City. The wife hired him to follow her husband, and he followed him to an apartment, and he was on the balcony, not the balcony, what do you call it? The fire escape. You know, in New York, how you can look out the back window and the fire escape is out there. He was hiding on the fire escape, and his partner was at the front door knocking on the lady's door that her husband was cheating with. And when he knocked on the door, the husband was coming out the window half naked, and he caught him. He took pictures of him, and he was like, "I gotcha." So he gave it to the wife, and they got a divorce. So interesting story, man. Interesting story from a private investigator. I love to hear stories of the older generation and their jobs they had. But today, I'm going to tell you about a 93-year-old friend I just made. 93-year-old guy. Can't wait to see him again. When I meet a person like this, y'all going to hear this lesson. Y'all are going to hear this lesson a lot every time I meet one of these human beings. Okay? I need you to understand this. This lesson is going to get old to you. Okay? 93 years old. 93 years old. Walked into the gentleman's room. We hit it off. How you doing, sir? I'm here for therapy. Where you from? I'm from such and such. You know, what are you into? What do you like to do? I like to fish. What type of work did you do back in the day? I love to use this as like the icebreaker, as like the conversation starter to find that common ground. I asked my man, what type of work did he do? He said, well, I was a vessel inspector for 35 years. I said, a vessel inspector? It's a vessel inspector. He said, well, you know what a vessel is, right? And I said, you mean like a ship? And he was like, well, that's close. You know, you can call a ship a vessel. He was like, but the vessels I inspected were tanks. Big, huge tanks. I said, oh, okay. He said he would inspect these tanks for safety. And he said that he did it for 35 years for a company. I'm like, oh, okay. He asked me, he said, do you know what a safety valve is? I said, yeah, I know what a safety valve is. This is when I love talking to these older guys who did the nitty gritty jobs, who did like the old school manly man jobs. Cause I used to do a little bit of that myself. I was a welder for 10 years. And then I also did HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. I did that for about a year. A little bit of plumbing too. So, and iron work. I was an iron worker. I was up on the scaffoldings, walking the scaffoldings. I was a welder doing that. I helped build a boat motel down in Fells Point, Baltimore. So if you're parking your boat in one of those boat motels, it's a good chance that I welded it up for you. But my man was like, yeah, safety valve. You know what that is? I said, yeah, I mean, it's a valve that, you know, it's a safety shutoff so something don't explode, basically. He was like, yeah, you're right. His eyes got big. He was like, you're right. I was like, I know a little something about a little something. And we just got to talking, man. We hitting it off. And then I asked him the question. I said, so what was the name of the company you worked for? He said, oh, a company it's called Procter & Gamble. When I hear these words, man, stuff like this, when I meet one of these old guys or old ladies that have worked for one of these blue chip companies of stocks that I own, I get excited. I don't know why I get excited. I get excited. At this point, I'm ready to sit down. He's in the wheelchair. I'm standing up. At this point, I'm ready to pull up a chair and sit down and just pick his brain. I said, oh, okay, you work for Procter & Gamble. I said, I own a few shares in your company. Full disclosure, I am an investor in the company called Procter & Gamble. This is not financial advice, okay? I am not encouraging you to invest in anything. I'm just telling you my personal story. But I said, I own a few shares in your company. And he said, well, that's a really good company. And I said, if you don't mind me asking, do you have any shares yourself? He said, oh yeah. He said, oh yeah. He said, when I worked there, the company bought him shares, and he also bought shares at a discounted price of the company, of Procter & Gamble. Now, you think this is way, way back. He worked there 35 years, and he's 93 years old. I think he's been retired for about 20-something years now, maybe more. So this is way, way back. I'm sure he got those shares at a really good price. Now, I am not about to even think about pocket watching, to think about how much my man had. I didn't ask him anything about that. But let's just say at 93, he's probably a multimillionaire. And I even asked him, I said, if you don't mind me asking, have you touched any of those shares? And he's like, nope. I was like, okay, that's what's up. Now, if you have never heard of a company called Procter & Gamble, I think most of you probably have. Let me just say, and I am not promoting this company at all. Let me just say, if I was to come into your house right now, your house, your crib, if I was to, you was to invite me over for a cup of coffee and I was to walk around your house, right? I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet money, and I'm not even a betting man. I'm willing to bet money that I would find tons of products made by this company. Tons of products made by this company. Just to name a few, what do we have? You got Gillette, Pampers, you got Oral-B, you got Swiffer. You know you got a Swiffer in your broom closet, don't you? You know you got a Swiffer Wet Jet. I know I got about 2 of them. Those things that always run out of fluid when you need them the most. Those things, man, they get you with the refills, man. There don't be a lot of fluid in them refills. I got the hardwood joint, and I swear, man, you get like 6 squirts out of that thing, and then you gotta refill it. That's how they get you. But Swiffer Wet Jets, I love my Swiffer too. Swiffer Wet Jets, you got Bounty. I know you got some Bounty towels on the kitchen counter right now. Charmin. I know you got Charmin in the bathroom right now. You know, this is America. we wipe our butts with tissue, man. We don't use the bum guns like we supposed to. So I know you got some Charmin in the bathroom right now. I know you got about 3 or 4 bathrooms. So Charmin in all of them. I already know. Dawn. I know you got Dawn sitting on your kitchen sink right now. They even got the new foaming joint that's really nice. What else? It's so much, man. Vicks Vapor Rub, Head and Shoulders. I know you wash your hair, get that dandruff out. I'm just naming some of the products, and this company makes a lot more. Tide detergent. I can go in your laundry room right now and find some Tide. I could probably find the little pods. I love those little pods. I'll be flinging them right in. I say all this to say, this company, man, this company has been probably making these products since the early 1800s. The early 1800s. So it's a good chance that your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your mom and dad, all throughout the course of their lives have spent thousands upon thousands of dollars with this company. Do you feel me? So I asked you, in saying all of that, I asked you, how many shares has your family owned? How many shares do you own? This is what my man said. I said, oh man, I like talking to long-term investors like yourself. I like hearing, the wisdom and your experience in investing. I said, I got a lot of friends, man. I be talking to them about investing, but they don't be wanting to hear it. They don't be listening. And when I tell them, they might say they're going to start. And then I'll come back like a month later or a year later that, I ain't start yet. I get this a lot, even with coworkers. And he said, you know what he said? The title of this video. He said, well, you tell your friends they are making a mistake. He's got serious face. We were laughing and joking. His face got serious because like he looked a little surprised. Like he's 93. He don't know what's going on with the younger generation. He's beyond that. But he looked surprised, as if he would think that most people do invest. He's been investing for I don't know how many years. But he looked surprised. He was like, really? He was like, well, you tell your friends they're making a mistake. The reason I made this video is I love investing. I've been investing for a long, long time. I was investing, and my story is similar to my man's, this 93-year-old. We both started investing when we didn't understand investing. Now, I wouldn't advise that, but we were the ones, and if you do this, you're probably doing it too. If you put money in the 401k, if you getting your company match for your 401k, you are an investor. You're just investing with what the company offered you. However, there's also something to be said about doing your own investing. Do it yourself. Setting up your own accounts, your Roth IRAs, your taxable brokerage accounts, your accounts for your children, your UTMAs, your custodial accounts, your 529s, setting all that up on the outside of your 401k. You feel me? We are at the point, I don't know if you noticed, we are at the point where it's almost necessary. You feel me? Should be mandatory, but it's almost necessary that you invest for yourself. And when I meet a guy like this, man, oh my goodness, I can't just imagine the amount of compounding, because Procter & Gamble, again, I'm not promoting this company, but Procter & Gamble pays a nice dividend. And I think it's a dividend king or aristocrat, which means it's been increasing its dividends, which means it pays its shareholders just for being shareholders. It rewards you. So you and your grandparents and your parents have been spending thousands of dollars with this company. I know you got the products in your house. I know you do. I do. I love the products. I got some Vicks. My daughter was sick. One day I rubbed a little Vicks on her chest, cleared it right up. I got the little humidifier in her room. I put the little Vicks thing in it. Walk in the room just clears your sinuses. It's so much Gain. Oh, they make Gain. You love Gain. I know you got some Gain little unstoppables that you put in your laundry, right? You feel what I'm saying? You've been spending money with this company to buy their products, and they make good products. A lot of waste with all the containers and crap, but they make good products. But are you a shareholder? Are you letting that company also make money for you besides you just spending your money with this company? My 93-year-old friend tells me if you're not investing, and he's not saying if you're not investing in his company that he worked for. He said you tell your friends if they're not investing, they are making a mistake. So I'm here to share that message with my friends. Y'all cool, right? We cool? I think y'all cool for the most part. Some of y'all be tripping, but for the most part, I think y'all cool. I'm encouraging you. I'm telling you what my 93-year-old friend said. If you're not investing, you are making a mistake. Okay? Whew. Oh, man. And I even had Procter & Gamble. That's not the only one. I've had guys, I think I made a video about a guy who works for Bell of Pennsylvania, which is now Verizon. And he's another one. He was like 96, didn't touch 1 cent. And is doing good. I told you about the lady whose husband worked for Pfizer, and she's in a luxury community, like a luxury assisted living off of Pfizer shares, a company that I wouldn't even invest in. But long-term investing, man, just holding long-term, letting the compound effect happen. If you don't know about compounding, please research it. And right now, the market is at all-time highs. So right now might not even be a time to start investing, but right now, while everything is high, might be a good time to learn it if you're not starting. Because what goes up must come down. And right now we are close to all-time highs. So I implore you, I'm begging you pretty please, man. Please invest for a long period of time. If you haven't started, please get started. The best time to invest is the day you were born. The next best time is right now. Get started on your journey if you have not yet. If you have, shout out to you. My grandson was born. I lied to you not. When my grandson was born, Texted my daughter at the hospital, I believe, or she was like getting ready to come home. I was like, okay, I need his full name, middle name, I need the social security number, and I knew the address. And I opened him up an UTMA account, a custodial account. My grandson is all of 2 years old right now. He's a part owner in some of the biggest companies in the world. They are making money for him, and he just running around being a kid, pooping on himself and having fun. Doesn't even understand the concept yet, but I'm definitely going to teach him. I even had a guy work for Unilever for like 30 something years. You ever hear of that company, Unilever? And these companies, they're people's names. So these are the people that started these companies way back when, in the 1800s. I think Unilever was in the early 1900s. Unilever. What do they make? Dove. That's like the biggest one right there. I know you got some Dove in your shower, right? You know I got some. I got some Dove Men Plus Care. I got some Dove eucalyptus and mint oil body wash. Yo, I'm encouraging you, invest in these blue chip companies or index funds or ETFs. Please let your money work for you when you are not working, okay? You can only work so hard and make the money if you're running a business. You can only do so much. You gotta sleep, you gotta rest, you gotta eat. But when you invest, your money is working. It doesn't need to sleep, it doesn't need to eat, it doesn't go on vacation, it doesn't need FMLA, it doesn't need paternity leave, it doesn't take sick days. It just keeps working around the clock as long as these businesses are producing and selling goods and services. Woo, man. So, I appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to you if you're new here, man. I'm just a dude that shares nursing home stories from the legends. These are the legends of our country. These are the Hall of Fame, literally. These are the Hall of Famers of America. They are the Hall of Famers. They are the boomers, the greatest generation, all that good stuff. He's part of the greatest generation, 93 years old. Literally the Hall of Famers of America. I get to talk to him, I get to hang out with him, I get to pick their brains. My man was cool. And check this out. My man, he's gonna be all right. He's in therapy for a short stint. He's gonna get stronger, he's gonna bounce back, boom, boom. I asked him, I said, so what are your hobbies? What do you like to do at home? This is how I get to know my people, so I know, how to tailor their therapy sessions, I asked him, so what do you like to do at home? My man said, well, I like to go out and walk down my pier. Did you just hear me? I like to walk down my pier, and I like to take my line and cast it out and catch some crabs. Crabs. He didn't say fish, he said crabs. My man lives close to a river in Maryland that has crabs in it. And I asked him, I said, don't you need a license for that? He was like, no, not if you live on the water. I said, that's what's up. My man lives right on the water. Literally likes to walk out on his pier, cast his line, and catch crabs. In Maryland, and I'm from Baltimore City. I love me some crabs. If you're from Maryland, I think I got a few Marylanders that watch. I know you love crabs. Just imagine walking out on your pier. Don't even need a boat. And he said he's got a couple boats. Don't even need a boat. You just walk out on the pier, cast your line, and catch crabs. That's what I'm talking about. That's what long-term investing can do for you. Whew. So, the moral of the story, y'all. My friend says, if you're not investing, you are making a mistake. Don't make that mistake. Please think of your future self. Please, please do. Your future self will be happy if you invest for him or her today. That's my public service announcement for the day, y'all. Right here to my next spot. Y'all be cool, be safe. Make sure you respect your elders, man. And I will holler at y'all in the next video. All right.